Let's talk about Angel Reese. My God, this Unrivaled League started last night. I actually watched the first half of this game. Ooh, it is a tough watch indeed.
Remember when everyone was predicting Angel Reese would take the Unrivaled League by storm? Well, her debut just went down, and let's just say, it wasn't anything like we imagined. You're probably thinking, it can't be that bad, but trust me, it was. Missed layups, turnovers all over the place, and get this, she was benched in the fourth quarter. Yep, you heard me right. The so-called star of the game was sitting on the sidelines while her team started scoring. Stick with us, because we're about to break down this chaotic debut.
She's absolutely delivering on that double-double. That's right, points, rebounds, and of course, losses.
All right, let's dive into Angel Reese's highly anticipated debut in the Unrivaled League. You know all the hype surrounding her, right? Well, things didn't exactly go as expected. Picture this, Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky superstar, stepping onto the court for her first Unrivaled League game. Everyone was expecting a show, but what we got was more of a fizzle than a firework.
I didn't have so much of a problem with the 3x3 play like I thought I was going to. That didn't really bother me. But Angel Reese played last night, and she's back to mid-season form.
The moment the game began, something felt off. Angel Reese wasn't the powerhouse we all expected. It was like watching a completely different player. You might be thinking, it couldn't have been that bad, but trust me, it was brutal. Let's talk about those layups, the easy, automatic shots that pros should sink without even thinking. Reese was missing them left and right. It was like a tutorial on how not to score in basketball.
Just in the same way that the Chicago Sky melted last year when her double-double streak started, she cost her team a game last night.
But it wasn't just the missed shots. Reese looked like she was playing basketball for the first time. Her movements were all over the place, and people were joking she looked like a baby giraffe on the court. Can you picture a pro player being that uncoordinated? Her teammates were giving her looks like, "What on earth are you doing?" Now, you might be wondering, did she at least put up some decent numbers? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Reese did manage a double-double with 10 points and 14 rebounds.
Angel Reese was 3 of 7 from the field. Once again, cannot get to that 50% mark. 5 turnovers, 14 rebounds, 10 points, and a big, fat, juicy L. 79-73, her team lost the game.
Her shooting was off, just 3 out of 7 shots, which is only 42%. For a player of her caliber, that's far from impressive. And it gets worse. 5 turnovers and 4 fouls. That's not the stat line you expect from a star player. Fans and analysts who were hoping for a dominant performance were left scratching their heads. This was supposed to be her big moment, her chance to prove she was ready for the pro level. Instead, it turned into a showcase of missed opportunities and sloppy plays.
Prime time is loading up. Angel Reese working downstairs, pump fake, toss it up, grab your own miss, no whistle. They're letting them play.
You thought the missed layups were bad. Well, brace yourself, because we're about to dive straight into Turnover City, and trust me, it's not a place you want to be. Remember when I said it gets worse? Hold on tight, because Angel Reese's performance is about to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about pro basket.
Turnovers, fouls, it was a disaster. Old for everything, as one person pointed out. In the fourth quarter,
let's talk turnovers. You're watching the game, eyes glued to the screen, and every time Reese touches the ball, you're holding your breath. Will she pass it to a teammate, or will she gift wrap it for the other team? It's like she's playing a game of hot potato, except the potato's on fire and drenched in oil. The ball hits her hands, and boom, it's flying the other way faster than you can ask. What was she thinking?
She's really one of the few, maybe the only one I can tell that looks this way on the court. Just like out of place playing a game they've been playing. It's weird.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, but everyone has a bad game now and then, right? Sure, but this wasn't just a case of a few fumbles. Reese was handing out turnovers like they were going out of style. And we're not talking about 1 or 2 here and there. No, she racked up a staggering 5 turnovers in her debut. Can you believe it? 5. That's like giving the other team an extra possession every quarter, and then some. But here's where it gets really wild. Some of these turnovers weren't even forced.
Someone said she's a below average passer. She's a terrible passer. But she's trying. You can see, like, her vision's there. Like, you can see what passes she's trying to make, but she just didn't make them.
You could see the confusion on her teammates' faces. It was like they were playing a different game. 1 minute, they're wide open, calling for the ball, and the next, they're watching it sail right past them into the hands of the opposing team. Now, you might be thinking, this has to be just rust, right? She'll shake it off. Well, hold that thought, because now we're diving into the foul trouble. Yep, as if the turnovers weren't bad enough, Reese decided to go for the double whammy.
Reese finished with a Roses team-high 14 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 4 fouls, shot just 3 of 7 from the field, 42%, got benched for most of the fourth quarter.
You're watching the foul count climb, thinking, there's no way she picks up another one, right? Wrong. It's like she's trying to set a record for the most fouls in the shortest amount of time. By the end of the game, Reese had accumulated 4 fouls. 4. That's 1 away from fouling out entirely in her debut. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but surely the coach saw this coming, right? Well, what happened in the fourth quarter is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about basketball strategy. Can you guess where Angel Reese ended up as her team fought for survival?
By the way, she got benched in the fourth quarter. Pulled right out of this game.
Right, folks, the star player, the one everyone came to see, found herself warming the bench when it mattered most. The coach had seen enough of Reese's turnover spree and foul trouble, so he pulled her from the game faster than you can say double-double disaster. But here's where it gets really interesting. The moment Reese took a seat, it was like someone flipped a switch. Suddenly, her team remembered how to play basketball. Can you believe it? The same squad that had been stumbling around like they were blindfolded started moving the ball, finding open shots, and actually scoring points.
By the way, when she got benched, the comeback was on. What does that tell you?
You might be thinking, it couldn't have been that dramatic, but trust me, the difference was night and day. Without Reese on the court, her teammates found their rhythm and went on a scoring run that had everyone stunned. Meanwhile, Reese was left watching from the sidelines, witnessing her team play better without her. You can only imagine what was going through her head as it all unfolded. A serious reality check.
See it. And of course, Aaliyah Boston plays for the Indiana Fever. Boston, she didn't have a great game either, to be honest with you. She didn't. So, Angel Reese went to doing some bragging last night. Growth of what? Missed layups. Yeah, her posting this, it backfired.
But let's not forget about the fans. Oh boy, were they divided. Some tried to put a positive spin on Reese's performance, highlighting her double-double of 10 points and 14 rebounds, saying, see, she's growing, she's improving. Meanwhile, others were left scratching their heads, wondering if they had just witnessed a professional basketball game or a blooper reel.
Once again, guys, looking like a baby deer or a baby giraffe out there. I cannot believe that somebody that looks this uncoordinated is a professional athlete. It's shocking to me.
Social media was buzzing with hot takes. You had diehard Reese supporters celebrating her stats like she just won MVP, while critics were having a field day with her lack of coordination and questionable decision-making. It was like watching 2 completely different games through 2 completely different sets of eyes. So the game's over, and you're probably thinking, well, at least Reese's fans will have her back, right? But hold on, because what happened next will make your head spin. You hop on social media expecting a flood of support for Reese, but instead, it's like walking into a war zone. Critics are out in full force, and they're not holding back. But here's the kicker. Some fans are actually celebrating.
What the hell that is. By the way, in case you're wondering, yes, Angel Reese is getting absolutely roasted. Her fans, though, her fans are out in droves. Seriously. They are celebrating this very mid that she actually made last night. They're trying to claim that this proved she's been in the gym. And congratulations, she hit a jump shot.
You believe it? I mean, are we really setting the bar so low that making a single jump shot is now cause for celebration? Now, you might be wondering, are these people watching the same game we just saw? And you're not alone. One commentator straight up asked, "Are we watching the same game?" It's like we've stepped into some bizarre alternate reality where a disastrous performance is being hailed as a triumph.
I don't get the celebration. Making one jump shot means she was in the gym, question mark. Look, we didn't see her in the gym really and truly until this league together to start practicing. Before that, it was a whole lot of podcasts and some near OnlyFan moments. It was a disaster in her first Unrivaled game. Good luck, Chicago Sky. You know what this tells me? Camila Cardoso is going to be sidelined again for the Chicago Sky for the sake of Angel Reese shooting those damn layups.